Hello ladies and gentlemen, chaps and chapettes, and today I have the transfer window deadline day shenanigans going on for you guys. And today is obviously the last day of the transfer window, and we've actually made a ton of signings already. I've done most of my business already. I've signed Jovetic, also Ter Stegen. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. And yeah, so for this entire transfer deadline day, there really wasn't that much for me to work with. I'd already really sealed up everything that I wanted to do. I still had around 7 million left. I probably should have spent that, because usually when it gets to the end, unfortunately, all your sort of budget and things does get reset. So I probably should have spent that money, but regardless, I had a really good squad as it is, and as much as I kind of, like I said, I wish I'd spent that money, it isn't too much of a big deal. And as you can see, one of the most important things to do throughout any transfer window is check out your free agents, because that is always really important to do. You can really pick up some crazy good players for obviously nothing. You just got to pay their wages, but you just got to keep an eye out for that stuff. An offer came in for Barini for around 11 million. I wasn't willing to let him go for 11 million because he is only age 22 and he's 79 rated, and I do think, you know, if he got the game time, he could really become actually a decent player, but he just doesn't fit into my team at the moment. So for that reason, that's why I kind of like negotiated with Sevilla, but it was unlikely that they were going to accept the 15 million counter offer. And to be honest, you know, if you do sell players on transfer deadline day, it can actually be very, very risky. And I'm actually a little bit nervous about selling players on transfer deadline day, especially in a position which I don't have much depth in. You know, we have Jovetic, we have Sturridge, but that's the only two main strikers I have. You know, I have the likes of Yezel and things like that, but besides that, you know, I really don't have much depth in that particular position. So that's why I was a little nervous to be negotiating sort of prices with them at such a late time, because then I just don't have time to go ahead and buy myself a replacement. But like I said, we were just taking a look around. I was looking at some more strikers, because if he did leave, you know, I would have to make a last minute, and who else other than Luis Muriel to take a look at? And I decided, you know, I'm going to risk it, see if anything does develop from this Sevilla stuff. But you know, nothing really was coming of it. I hadn't heard back from them in a while, and usually when it takes a little longer for them to reply to your counter offer, most of the time it is a no. So once I figured that out, I was like, you know what, it just doesn't look like I'm going to be able to pick up Luis Muriel. It'd be really interesting to see if I could once, you know, bring him back to the club and just make him what he was at QPR for me, because let's be honest, guys, in QPR, Luis Muriel was an absolute god, a hero. Let me know in the comments if maybe sometime during my Liverpool reigning, then you guys might be interested in seeing me, you know, bring back someone like Luis Muriel. Let me know in the comments. A little news piece about Sunderland. If you guys didn't remember, Sunderland actually got taken over by, I believe it was some Arabs that had a lot of money to spend on Sunderland, and their big sort of headline signing was a 2.9 million signing, which really didn't impress me that much. You know, for a company that a club that has had that much money just recently invested to him, I have to admit I was a little bit kind of stranged out with the fact that they didn't you know, spend as much money as I thought they were going to. But that was it for transfer deadline day. That was that. And for some reason, as soon as that's over, I believe that's Handanovic there, was actually like, yo, yeah, you know, I might get signed, but the transfer window had just finished, so I don't know why stuff like that does happen. But oh well. Another thing is Alberto Massi, one of the center backs I actually signed in the summer, who was out for something like 9 months, actually who said, you know, I want to have some more game time, but the dude's injured. Like, how can you complain? He has a cruciate ligament injury going on, and he's complaining about how he's not getting game time. I really don't understand that, but you know, when he is done with his injury, I'm definitely going to try and get him as much game time as possible, because I do think he would work really well in the team. So if you guys remember, I actually signed Jovetic when he was 86 rated, and now he's already 87. I think he's played 1 or 2 games, so I am so excited to see his development, and I want to keep you guys posted on, you know, how well and how quickly he develops as a player, because it's more of a bit of a test for me as well. You know, will this player really, you know, live up to what's been talked about so much of him? You know, there's been a lot of people have told me to get Jovetic right from when I was starting with my career mode with the QPR. You know, he's been a player on everyone's mind, so I'm really interested just to see how well he does this time around. Now, I had an FA Cup against Leyton Orient, and I played very much a second-tier team. I had Yezel and Go there. I played Ox, you know, who's, you know, I wouldn't say he's second-tier, but definitely my 2 strikers were not my normal 2 strikers. But it actually kind of showed. You know, I really struggled to get the ball into the back of the net early on. I decided to play Munayen as a first-team player this time around, just because I thought that he kind of you know, if the two strikers really can't produce anything, at least I have someone like him who can at least create something and at least give it a go and see if if those two can't get goals, then he should be able to do so. Sterling there breaks loose. Unfortunately, the Leyton Orient goalkeeper makes a wonderful save to make sure that they didn't go 1-0 down, but that wasn't going to last too long. Yezel actually surprised me a lot in this game. He was actually a very impressive player. He sets up a nice effort there. Unfortunately, we weren't even able to get the rebound goal, but yeah, we were just playing very well, very dominant. The players were doing good things, and you know, we were just able to create space, create opportunities, but it was a little bit worrying. I'm not gonna lie, we went into halftime 0-0. I honestly thought I would at least have, you know, some sort of lead at this point in time, but it wasn't meant to be. Yezel there, he's got a lot of pace on him. He plays a wonderful ball through to Munayin, and I have to give Yezel all the credit for that, because all Munayin did was just, you know, guide it past the keeper, so props to him for that. Yezel there goes and proves his worth furthermore as he bags another, well, he didn't get the first goal, but he bags himself a goal anyways, so that's an assist and a goal for him. He is just doing a fantastic job at the moment. Unlucky there from Sterling not to score, but it was on his left foot, so I can't expect too much from that. But yeah, overall, we were just a very dominant team. I definitely felt as though we deserved this win. The strikers had actually really impressed me. Unfortunately, that nice piece of passing play didn't actually end up leading to something straight off the bat. But Yezel again there with another goal to get his second goal. That's 2 goals and an assist, and for me, he was most certainly man of the match. He had played absolutely outstanding this game, and I was very impressed. So that's a 3-0 win, and I managed to get some of the younger players, you know, some of the youth a little bit more game time, so that's always really important. As you can see, Arsenal beat West Brom 3-1 there. Aston Villa lost to Wigan 2-1 as well, and Blackburn Rover tied 1-1 to Middlesbrough. So as far as the rest of the FA Cup went, it went pretty well. Everton smashed their opponents 5-0, which was impressive, and Wisdom was happy with the chance to play for the team, and in honesty, I am more than happy to play Wisdom. He is just doing so well at the team at the moment. I am really impressed. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to play Quatez in that game. I ended up playing Agar and Ogbonna just because I wanted my defense to be solid in that Leyton Orient game. If we couldn't score goals, I certainly didn't want to concede them. I can't even speak right now. I certainly didn't want to have to concede those goals, so that's why they started that game. But you know, it paid off. We managed to get some players that usually wouldn't start in the game to start, and that always keeps the team morale up, and that always keeps people happy. But I had a game against Stoke, aka Route 1, aka launch the ball as far up the pitch as we can get it, and let's see if we can get Crouchy on the other end of it. But you know, funnily enough, Crouch didn't actually start this game, and it was snowy. God damn it, why can't every game I play just be normal weather and all that? But Jovetic scores his first goal for the game, and it was very early on in the Stoke game, and I was really happy with that. You know, I was glad that he managed to get his first goal. It's always, you know, a bit worrying to know, you know, when is the player going to get his first goal. But an even better goal was scored by Kenwyne Jones there. That is just a magnificent header there. That is really wonderful. He really got low to the ground and just guided it past my keeper, so props to him for that. I definitely, I got to respect a goal like that. He did a great job of just getting in front of the defender, and a beautiful finish as well. So it was 1-1 at this time, and I really didn't know how the rest of the game was going to go. You know, we did some silly things to give away possession. We weren't dominating as much as I was hoping we would, but you know, eventually Jovetic finds a way past the goalkeeper, and unfortunately it wasn't into the back of the net. It actually went out for a goal kick. But Chelsea were leading Spurs 2-1. Chelsea, I'm not entirely sure how they did last season. They didn't win it, and you know, I'm sure they were definitely looked to win a game like that because they are such a solid team. They have a lot of money to spend, so you can expect anytime you play the Premier League, unless something big happens, they will win it most of the time. And Peter Crouch, the man of the moment that I was speaking about, actually ends up coming on, and then that's when the Route 1 ball started to fly in. And to be honest with you, I was a little bit nervous by this, a little bit weirded out, but I had to make some changes myself to the team, and I don't know, at one point I was like, do I even want to make it, you know, that late on? Do I want to make those changes that late on? I ended up going against it because it was, I believe, the 85th minute, and you know, when the players actually come on, they won't come on until around the 90th minute, so it wasn't really worth my time, and it actually ended up that score. I had a quick simulation. This was, like I said, an international friendly. That's why you're not seeing gameplay, guys. You don't understand how excited I am for the actual World Cup, because that's when I get to play with the team, and I know you guys are actually interested to see me actually play with Colombia, so I do apologize that, you know, you're not getting to see any gameplay at the moment, but I just have no interest in international friendlies whatsoever. They literally don't mean anything to me. So we end up doing pretty well in this. They unfortunately get a red card from one of their centre backs, I think it was, and we end up winning that 2-1, which is a solid victory, but nothing, you know, nothing too big, nothing too small. And unfortunately, we do have an injury, but it was for Colombia, so I wasn't too fussed about it. But that'll do it for today's episode, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, then dropping a like would just be amazing. Until then, I'll catch you guys on in a little bit. Don't forget to leave a like. Seriously, the support on the recent videos have literally just been through the roof. I really can't thank you guys enough. Have a cracking day, lads, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. I'm off to go shopping and get lots of fucking Coke. See you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.